Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tom with the Strength Agenda and going on another Q&A video for you guys. Really appreciate you guys sending in all these questions. They're very helpful, very insightful in the direction to take these. So a little bit of a more informal thing. So if you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, please comment below. Find us on Instagram. Keep the questions coming. I want to be able to help you guys as best as possible with these things. Recent one I had, somebody it wasn't really a question, it was more of a comment and my thoughts. And I've actually seen it a lot and I wanted to kind of talk about it, but I wasn't quite sure how to go about it, but we're going to take a stab at it. Pretty much the question, comment / concern was thoughts on people training through meets. And I wanted to take this from, two different ways of going about this. First off, I saw at the American Open this past year, a lot of people tell me, oh, not a big deal, I was just training through that meet. Now, first, before I get going, if you get offended by anything I have to say in this video, then you have something to be offended about. I'm not talking about you. Calm down. I'm just making observations and expressing my opinion on those observations. So let's just get that out of the way right now. What does training through a meet actually mean? In my opinion, training through a meet means exactly that. You are training through the meet. This meet means absolutely nothing to you. You're not tapering for it. You're not resting for it. You're not peaking for it. You're not doing anything different in your training that involves this meet. That is what training through a meet means. Simply put, when I tell my athletes they are training through a meet, it is simply their heavy day. I program 5 days a week. The day 5 is usually the heaviest day of the training cycle, and the meet simply replaces day 5. That, in my opinion, is what training through a meet means. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these people that I see, I've been seeing a lot of Instagram posts about training through a meet, this and that. First off, do you even know what that means? Did you just hear somebody say it and it sounded like a good excuse as to why you had a bad meet? Listen, you're a human being. You're allowed to have a bad meet. It's gonna happen. You are not gonna go through your entire weightlifting career and not have a bad meet. Sorry, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's gonna happen. I know I've bombed out at my fair share of meets. A lot of other lifters can tell you the same thing. Doesn't matter whether they compete at the international stage, the national level, or the local level. You're gonna bomb out at meets. It happens. Get over it, get used to it, and move on to the next one, okay? So all of you that are using I was training through this meet anyways as an excuse for your subpar performance, stop it. You're just making it worse. Just own up to having a bad meet and move on. It's one of those things like, I don't want to get too, wrapped up too crazy in this one because, some people just don't know. They don't know exactly what it means. They're just kind of saying what they hear, they're repeating it, all that stuff. But just because you hear somebody say it, somebody that you may respect or somebody that you may, look up to or anything like that, doesn't mean that that's what you're doing. If you rested for a meet, if you took a day or two off before you competed, you're not training through a meet. If you backed off the week of a meet in training, might not have been a full-on taper, but you backed off. You may not have pushed a heavy single as far as you could. You may have, dropped your lifts to maybe 5 percentage points or whatever below what you were supposed to do. You might not have, done all of your squats or something along those lines. You may have cut out accessory work. You may have, whatever. Taken a little more time, gone to the recovery room or anything along those lines. You didn't train through a meet. If you are training through a meet, literally nothing in your week leading up to that meet changes. It is the exact same. You go to your job, you go do your training, you kill yourself in the gym, and then instead of doing like your last heavy day of the week, you go to this meet and you compete and you kind of see what happens. This is a good idea in that situation because it gives you meet experience, but you're also not altering training. I talked about this in another video, a little more professional looking one. You can't peak all the time. You just simply can't. Using a local meet or whatever as a gauge is great to see how training is going. So just don't abuse the phrase training through a meet. That's pretty much all I'm trying to say. If you tapered for a meet, if you backed off the week of a meet, if you rested a couple days before the meet, you didn't train through the meet. If you were training through the meet, you were simply using it to replace your heavy day. End of story. Okay, don't argue, don't complain, don't anything like that. Plain and simple. If you are training through a meet, it replaces your heaviest day of training. plain and simple. Hopefully that, addresses the thought, question, concern that I had on this one. I had multiple of them, and most of these videos we do are, if I get more than like 2 or 3 comments about the same thing, we'll talk about it. So hopefully that answered what you were asking. If you guys have any other questions, comments, concerns, I already said it at the beginning of the video, but I'm going to say it again. Comment below, or find us on Instagram at I am Tom Sroka, or at The Strength Agenda, or find us on Facebook, my Facebook personal account or the gym's personal account. We want to help you guys get as much information out there as possible. Until next time, keep training hard, have some fun. We'll see you guys on the platform.